everybody, and welcome to episode 40 of the Hypocritics podcast. Thank you for joining us. My name is Carl, and I am here with the ineffable Caleb the Sane.
I'm totally effable.
No, you're not.
Yeah, it's only us tonight.
Yep, only the two of us this evening.
It's gonna be a lively show.
God.
So,
well, with what I have planned for this evening, yes, you're right.
I've got to get something off my chest before we begin.
Okay.
Let's consider this an open letter to the creators and maintainers of 5 Hour Energy, the energy drink. Here's the thing. I had my choice between flavors of 5 Hour Energy before we did this show, which I love 5 Hour Energy. Don't get me wrong. Don't sue me. So, I picked one, and the one that I chose was the bright pink one that's supporting cancer research through the Susan J. Komen Foundation, the Race for the Cure thing, and some of the proceeds for the purchase of that bottle would be going to help for cancer research, which is really important stuff. Here's the thing, okay? Something that's that vital, that unequivocally important, it was pink lemonade flavored. It tasted like ass. Okay. Now, there are flavors of 5 Hour Energy that aren't bad. Lemon lime comes to mind. Not a bad flavor for 5 Hour Energy. So here's what you do. Instead of utilizing a product that nobody will ever buy again after they taste it, and using that one for the one that, a portion of the price is going to go to help fund cancer research, why not use one that people like?
Yeah.
How's that?
Makes sense.
That sounds helpful to me. So, I will never buy that flavor again, regardless of the fact that the proceeds help go to cancer research. And I might feel bad about that, but I think that it's really the maker of 5 Hour Energy's fault that I'm feeling bad because of that, and I hold it against them. I blame them, and they need to fucking fix it. So there we go.
All right. Well, that makes sense. So, on that note, we'll get right into our docket today. We've got quite the docket lined up, and Caleb, I understand you haven't read hardly any of it.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at it, really.
Good. Let's do this. Before we do that, I want to remind everybody to go onto our Facebook page, onto facebook.com/thehypocritics, and interact with us there. I've got a lot of stuff going on there, including our weekly personal top fives to accompany our weekly podcast.
Nobody does that right. They don't go thehypocritics.com or facebook.com/thehypocritic. They just go on to Facebook and then they search. That's how they do it. They don't type in the...
I guess you can do it that way. If you want to be lazy about it, I was giving our listeners more credit, I guess. I just assumed that they were more intelligent.
Whoa. This is not a question of intelligence, sir.
Sounded like it to me, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, first in our movie section, let's just go ahead and get the big one out of the way first. Robert Downey Jr. joins the cast of Captain America 3.
This means war.
And that movie will adapt the Civil War comic event. So, Caleb, you wrote a couple of articles that are up on thehypocritics.com.
Yeah, I did. I kind of regret putting the one article up and then the second article up. I think we should have just waited it out and put the second article up.
Think so?
Actually, I do. Because, the second article... I felt pressured, okay? It was a breaking story. I wanted to get it out there. I wanted to make people aware, so I just kind of, pushed through this really chintzy sort of article and turned it in. It was not my best work, and I think people deserved more, which is why I followed up with a very, very detailed and in-depth article following it. Mm-hmm. But now, that second article just kind of feels like work to get through. Because you're like, I read some of this already. Fuck this. Then you move on. I'm totally stoked about the Civil War. I could talk about it for hours. Not going to. We don't have that kind of time.
That's true. Why don't you give us a rundown of the Civil War, and then we'll kind of talk about the movie adaptation.
All right, so I'm going to tell you about the Civil War in the comics. There is a team called the Young Warriors, or the New Warriors.
I think it was the New Warriors.
It was the New Warriors. And they're filming a reality show. It's kind of like the superhero version of Cops. And this is in Connecticut. They tracked down some pretty heavy-hitting bad guys, including Nitro, who they shouldn't have fucked with. They went to try and capture them. Namorita, the cousin of Namor, ends up basically pinning Nitro down. Nitro does his thing, and he explodes, kills about 600 people, including an elementary school full of children. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back, because it's following an outbreak, or, the Hulk. He fucking flipped out like he does in Las Vegas. And then there was a retaliation on American soil due to Nick Fury's Secret War. People are getting fed up with superheroes, and what they needed to do in order to help satiate the public outcry is mandate them. They had to create a registration process for them where they revealed their identity to the government and worked in tandem for the government in order to keep doing what they do. Otherwise, they get locked up. Okay, one side, I mean, it boils down to, I'm not going to say Iron Man versus Captain America, because that kind of pisses me off. It's not Iron Man versus Captain America. This is war, okay? The Revolutionary War was not the King versus George Washington. Right. That's not the way it is. There are generals, okay? And they fight. There are a lot of facets to the war, but, there are two figureheads that emerge, and it is Iron Man, and it is Steve Rogers, Captain America. The sides are chosen, and the Marvel Universe is torn asunder.
Yes, and so that apparently is, according to the rumors, going to be part of the Captain America 3 for, I believe, Phase 3. So, I wanted to talk about what you think this means for the Marvel Universe. Because first, this is a further, I won't say nail in the coffin, because that's not quite the right term for it, but that's the best one I got right now, to the rumor of Spider-Man joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Sony basically leasing out.
Yeah, it's a clincher, man. It's a clincher. Spider-Man was a big deal for the Civil War. In the comics, what had happened is Tony Stark needed a figurehead, someone people identify with, and Spider-Man's beloved by everyone, basically. He needed a poster child for the face of the pro-registration side of things. And in order to show people that it was safe, that it was a good idea, he coaxed Peter Parker into not only going pro-registration, but unmasking himself and revealing his identity to the world on live television.
Yes.
Which turned out to be a very foolhardy move on Spider-Man's part. The reason that he'd always protected his identity was to protect the people he loved, his family, his friends, and they're the ones who ended up suffering due to his disclosure of his identity. That really amped things up in the war. Spider-Man was the A-bomb, basically. He was the space race. He was the fucking piece of power that both sides wanted.
Yep.
And for a period of time, both sides had him.
Yeah, that's true.
He was pro-registration until bad shit happened, and then he was anti-registration.
Yeah, so, again, that's just another nail in the coffin for Spider-Man joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also, one of the things I wanted to touch on with that is, for years, basically, I've been saying that we would never get a World War Hulk movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Wouldn't happen. The reason I was saying that is because why would Marvel take one of their most beloved characters and basically make him a villain?
See, I almost look at it the other way. The Hulk films have not panned out that well. He is a part of a recipe. Okay, he's not a main course. He's a part of a recipe that makes a good meal. And I think that, I don't know, I hashed this out. I totally thought that perhaps this was leading away to World War Hulk, which I was so stoked about. Mm. You remember when World War Hulk was happening in the comics and I was geeking out like a motherfucker?
Yes, I do.
I was so behind it, because Hulk's always been one of my favorites, for the same reason that, like, Frankenstein's monster has always been one of my favorites. He's just strength and power incarnate. Who doesn't like a character like that, you know? Mm-hmm. World War Hulk could have been, the reason that I think that World War Hulk would have to happen is because in the comic books, the Hulk is completely missing during the entire thing.
Yes.
Okay? He was shot into space by the Illuminati, which is not the conspiratorial, underhanded government. It's Namor, Tony Stark, Black Bolt, Professor X.
Reed Richards.
Yeah, Reed Richards was one of them. Doctor Strange, I believe, is also one of them.
Yes.
And they shot him into space, figuring that he was the most dangerous thing on the planet. And they weren't wrong.
True.
They weren't wrong, and he proved it when he came back. So I guess I kind of have to give some backstory to World War Hulk, don't I? Let me sum this up in like 10 seconds, okay?
Right.
He got shot off to this planet. He ended up, the atmosphere interacted with him in a weird way, took away his healing factor so he could be cut, wounded, bleed, things like that. He fought in a gladiator-style capacity, raised through the ranks until he became king of the planet by killing the current king. He had a wife, he had a child, but then the ship that they sent him to that planet in went nuclear, exploded, killed everybody, blew up the planet, killed the Hulk's wife, killed the Hulk's kid, and now the Hulk is just more pissed than he's ever fucking been in his entire life. Hulk used to Hulk out when he'd get hit by a tranquilizer dart. What do you think happens when you kill his offspring?
Yeah.
So, he vowed vengeance. He declared war. Not on Earth, but on the heroes. And I don't think he was a villain for it.
No, I don't think he was a villain for it either. But what that does is, either way, there's a villain factor in there. Either to the Hulk or to those who shot him into space.
Now, let's get back on topic here with the Civil War.
Yes.
So he was missing. Thor was also missing due to Ragnarok.
Yes.
Okay, so there was no Thor, there was no Hulk. That presents interesting ideas in regards to what they're going to do in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, since those are two of the key players of what makes the Marvel Cinematic Universe currently. Mm-hmm. Another thing that you have to consider is the big deal about the Superhuman Registration Act is that they had to reveal their identities, but there are currently no heroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe whose identity is not known publicly.
Right.
None.
Which means that they'll have to change that up. Which you had a really good idea on Twitter, I believe it was. I think it was on Twitter that you had mentioned that. Anyway, about making it kind of like what like the new S.H.I.E.L.D. wants to use them as their own soldiers or something like that, and there's a faction that agrees with that and a faction that doesn't.
Basically, yeah, because I mean, I can see Tony Stark getting behind that idea, given a couple of things. I mean, his PTSD that's shown in Iron Man 3, he would want as much security, as much accountability as possible. He would want to know everything about everybody, and he would want everyone on side. Okay? Yeah. Because he's terrified. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, on that end, that is it would diminish civil liberty for the people who have done nothing but try to help. And that's where Captain America would take umbrage.
Yeah.
Another idea that was tossed around in a conversation I had on Twitter is instead of getting rid of the Hulk for World War Hulk, let's make Hulk the reason the registration happens. Nitro isn't a thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This explosion that happens, there's not enough build-up, enough backstory, enough time to create something like that. So if Hulk hulks out, okay, just in the middle of a city, completely destroys a whole bunch of shit, it's a viable reason for people to want
to curtail superheroes.
They want them on a leash.
That would make sense.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it would be easy to spin it from, the Hulk to the Avengers to everyone in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The one thing I think that they're doing wrong, if they push for it for Cap 3, I think they're going too early. But I can understand that they're doing it because Chris Evans wants out.
Yep.
He wants out. And, spoiler alert, Captain America dies. Okay, he dies in the Civil War. And Captain America dies on the courthouse steps. So that's how they're going to get rid of Chris Evans, I predict. I think the Winter Soldier is going to take up the mantle.
As does in the comics.
Yeah. Well, currently Falcon is Captain America, which I think is pretty awesome. But Winter Soldier took it over in Steve Rogers' absence, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that brings us up to speed. That's how I think it's going to play out. And I can totally see almost doing both. Now that we've talked about it on air, this is kind of coming together. I could see the Civil War being World War Hulk as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it.
I'm going to have to ponder that one in my sleepless night.
All right. So, moving on to our next story here. There is now going to be a Minecraft movie.
Right.
Yes.
About what?
About Minecrafting, I guess. I don't know. Made by the same team who's done the Lego movie And they also, DC, released their...
Yeah, because there's nothing similar there.
Not DC, Warner Brothers, right, released their, slate for the next, 5 years or something like that. And, Ninjago, the Lego Ninjago is one of the live-action movies that's coming out, feature-length movies that's coming out. Lego Batman and then the Lego Movie 2 are in development.
Oh, fuck. Are they gonna have a Marvel-esque universe that everything's tied together?
Probably. So, no, never mind. This is Warner Brothers we're talking about. They don't know how to do that.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. They're behind Batman, aren't they?
Yep.
All right. So,
Minecraft, yes.
Here's my caveat on it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I like Minecraft. I play it a lot. I would say I'm even addicted to Minecraft at times. It's a stupid idea for a movie.
Okay.
It's a really stupid idea for a movie. But I'm okay with it as long as they keep the sound effects. I just like the... when you're putting blocks down and stuff, it's I love it. That's half of the reason that I'm addicted. I like the all the noises. I fucking love them. I could just sit and watch credits roll while that's happening, and I'll be like, "No, good movie." And then maybe some narration by Andy Garcia or something would be good.
Andy Garcia.
Yeah, why not?
Kind of cool. Okay. You said narration. My first thought was Morgan Freeman. Or James Earl Jones. See, I guess.
I like them both. I definitely do. I just don't see him for Minecraft. Andy Garcia, for some reason, definitely.
All right. I'll let that one run. So yeah, what is it to you that hooks you with Minecraft? Is it just the sound effects?
I honestly have no idea.
Really?
I have no idea what hooks everybody on Minecraft, okay? The only people who talk shit on Minecraft are people who haven't played it. Yep. Have you noticed that shit?
Uh-huh, I have noticed that.
I don't know exactly what it is.
You know what it is to me? It's exploring. It's the exploratory nature of it. They sit you down in a world and just say, go. And you just have to, you just go.
It's fucking human nature.
It is.
It's human nature to do that.
And you go and you fucking punch a tree.
Literally what happens when you're born.
Yeah.
It's what happens when you're born. Go, learn everything.
Learn it. Figure it out.
And also, we're not going to tell you anything. Because that's another thing about Minecraft. It's just infuriating, but at the same time, pretty awesome. Because when you figure out some shit you didn't know and you've been playing it for a year already.
And you're like, holy shit, is that new?
You're like, fucking redstone pistons? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Yeah, it's like that.
That's what it is to me. Just exploring and burning down forests.
Yeah, with lava. Yeah, I know you. Me, I like building shit. I play on creative mode a lot.
Nope, I play on the actual
I play survival too.
Yeah.
I play survival too. There's been many a time I've been like, oh god, and just dug a pit straight down and covered myself up until morning.
Yep.
Like a fucking vampire, like a reverse vampire.
Yep, I've done that. So, okay, yeah. I'm excited about our next story.
Do you think the German version is called Minecraft? Minecraft with a K?
I have a funny story about the Third Reich, but I'll tell you.
I'm not sure that it's appropriate to have a story that qualifies as funny about the Third Reich.
We'll have to talk about it OTM. That's a story I don't want out in the ether.
Oh, jeez.
So, moving on. This story makes me excited. HBO to launch standalone online service without cable in 2015.
I'm going to tell you one of the primary reasons you're excited.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's your big "I told you so" moment, is it? All right.
That's 50% of the.
You called it. I think it was episode 9 or something. You called it.
I was like, HBO's going to go without cable soon. Mark my words. My words were marked, and it happened. So.
Yeah.
Booyah. You heard it here first, people. Hypocritics, what? So.
What? He's threatening you. He's like, hypocritics, what? What now? Say something. I fucking dare you.
So, yeah, there's not a whole lot else to say about that, aside from the fact that, there's no real details given about what will be included.
Did you just say there's nothing else to say about that except there's nothing else to say about that? That's what you did. The only thing I can say is that I can't say anything.
That is exactly what I did. But anyway, yeah, there are no details about it, so we don't know what type of content is going to be included.
What the cost will be.
What the cost will be. if they're ditching their cable subscription altogether and going straight without cable. Or
are they going to pull all of their licensed properties from other streaming services? Will you not be able to get Sopranos, for example, somewhere else?
Right, exactly. So, we just have to wait and see what they do with that. But if this turns out the way I'm hoping, where what they'll end up doing is, because what I'm expecting is they'll keep their cable service for a while, for at least the next 5 or 6 years, where you'll still be able to get all of the content on HBO via cable, but the online service will have mostly everything except for their very new stuff. So new episodes of like Game of Thrones or The Leftovers or whatever won't be available on there until the following week or something like that. That's what I'm expecting will happen. But all of their back catalog, all of their movies,
I don't think cable's going to be around for the next 5 or 6 years.
Oh yeah, it'll be around.
No, I don't
because
know.
there's another story that's coming up next, and I'll get into why I think that's going to lead to cable sticking around longer than I expected.
I wish we had some spooky music to play while you did that. Like, like, no, we will get to that in just a moment. And then like that very dramatic soap opera moment. Like, dun, dun, dun.
I'll add it in post. That's a great idea.
Excellent.
So, next up, this is also a story I really wanted to talk about. Wonder Woman's origin in Batman vs. Superman apparently has been revealed. So, story is, to understand this, you have to understand
To understand this, you need to have done a lot of drugs.
Yeah, basically. So, the original Wonder Woman origin story goes kind of like this. So, there were basically all of the souls of all of the like women who were killed by a man. It revolves around that, and I don't remember exactly how it plays out, but basically the first...
Say basically one more time.
Basically the first woman who was hurt by a man became Hippolyta, and she's the mother of Diana. She was pregnant with a child, and when she created Diana out of clay and gave her the soul of that child, and so she became Wonder Woman. Queen of the Amazons. Hippolyta, Queen of the Amazons, gave us Wonder Woman. What they're changing that to is basically Zeus fucked around with Hippolyta.
Right, because that doesn't undermine the
entire point is that Wonder Woman is not reliant on a man for birth for anything. So that's kind of the entire point of it. But by changing that and making it she's Zeus's bastard kid, it's kind of takes the point out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And she's sitting there and she's all like, Hera, damn it.
So yeah, any thoughts on the changing of that story?
No, not really. I don't care.
You don't care?
Yeah, I don't care. Look, okay. Here's the thing. Okay. We have Superman. Mm-hmm. In the DC universe, is an alien. Mm-hmm. Batman is a human. Mm-hmm. Wonder Woman is a demigoddess now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Could this universe get more fucking ridiculous? I mean, it's not ridiculous when Marvel does it. Why does it sound so ridiculous? You know, you got Thor in Marvel universe. He's a fucking demigod, and then you got, like Captain America and Tony Stark, and all that, for some reason, with Marvel seems, okay, yeah, legit, let's do it, okay? But with DC, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't subscribe to that. I think that it works.
I'll tell you how it works. Okay? You see an athlete, okay? Pick up a basketball, right? It's natural as fuck, okay? If you see a geeky science nerd pick up a basketball, you think, the fuck are you doing? You just do. Okay? That's how I feel with DC in the cinematic universe. Okay? You have your own special things that you can do okay, I'm marry a lawyer when you grow up. You'll be fine. Look, that's all I mean to say. Just put down the ball, DC. Just put it down.
All right. Hold while I write that down for our title of this show. Put down the ball, DC. That's good. All right. So, moving on then, because I'm not going to come up with anything better than that. This is the reason I think that cable's going to stick around longer. Because CBS has launched a $5.99 a month subscription streaming service.
Nobody's going to pay for that. It's CBS.
True. I don't particularly disagree with you.
Like, fuck it, I'm going to pay $5.99 to watch Good Morning America.
But...
or is that ABC? Who knows?
But think about it. They're offering free access to 5,000 plus episodes to Star Trek, Cheers, MacGyver, Twin Peaks, and CSI Miami. Those are some pretty heavy hitters.
Okay. You're saying it like it's a benefit, but what you're really saying is that they're going to be taking away 5,000 plus episodes of MacGyver, Cheers, CSI Miami, etc. from an already existing streaming service where you're already getting that thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying it like it's a plus at all.
They're taking them hostage.
I agree with you. Yeah. I'm with you on this one. I'm just telling you that what their plan is now is to be able to leverage this, because they're basically doing the exact same thing that HBO is doing and holding their, streaming content hostage so that they can fund paying the cable services for the contract to keep cable online. So they'll be able to keep going longer than expected. And if other networks begin doing this, if ABC, NBC start doing this.
Well, they're going to compete. I mean,
exactly. Then essentially what they'll do is treat this as sort of their side project while funneling money from their side project into their flagship, which is on cable. So they'll be able to keep up with the contracts on cable, which is why cable will stick around longer.
You know what? That sucks.
Again, I don't disagree with you.
I think CBS stands for Choose a Better Service.
That's good. That's pretty good. Also, first, let me check out. We got enough time. So, do you know where the NBC chimes come from?
If you gave me more time, I'd probably come up with a really funny answer, but I'm going to go with no.
The NBC chimes are actually because so NBC came about, long story short, because it was owned by several different existing companies. Okay. AT&T, Westinghouse, GE.
Wasn't NBC a radio thing first?
Exactly. Yes, it was.
All right.
And so when they branched off into radio and into TV, especially into radio, they needed something to let people know they were listening to NBC. They needed a audio logo. And so they needed to come up with something. And what they were going to do is use the musical scale to do so.
And they fucked it up?
No, not at all. So they were going to go with NBC, but there's no fucking N on the musical scale. What about AT&T? Oh, there's no T's. What about Westinghouse? Nope, that's not going to work. What about GE? Oh, GE Company. GEC. Booyah. There it is. NBC chimes. Okay.
Isn't there a fourth one, though? Doesn't it go da-da-da-da?
No, it doesn't.
Are you sure?
I think you added that in your own head.
No,
I
don't think I did.
No, I looked this up quite a while ago. You added...
Okay, that's an old chime.
Okay, I'm talking about the origin. That's the original.
Yeah, well...
What do you want from me?
Yeah, but there's a fourth chime now.
Okay, well, there's a fourth chime. They added that on afterwards. It still does not diminish the original origin.
I am not arguing with you.
It sounded like you were arguing with me.
It changed on D-Day, apparently. I googled this shit.
Oh, okay. What is it now? I didn't even know that it...
I just did it. It's da-da-da-da. That's how it is.
Sounds like the more you know thing.
No, that's wa-na-na.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I still don't think you're right, but we'll run with it.
Not wrong.
Okay, so, before we jump into our Dude Seriously section, wanted to remind everyone to go and check us out on Twitter and follow us there. Caleb and I have been really being pretty active on Twitter and engaging in multiple different conversations with multiple different people about multiple different things.
It's exhausting.
It's actually pretty awesome.
Also, if you'd like to donate money to get Carl a thesaurus, it's multiple, basically.
I'm a big fan of repetition. It really kind of helps cement my message.
Basically, he doesn't have multiple words for words.
Basically, that's correct. So,
I'm a dick. I don't even know what's wrong with me today.
Anytime it's just you and I, you're like asshole. Your asshole meter goes into the red. You're hardcore.
I'm really glad you didn't go with what I thought you were going to say, because you're like, you're asshole, and then like you put your hand up like you were gauging who's, your asshole's like way up here. Like,
I couldn't come up with anything to go, like, my hand started moving before my mouth started talking, and so I couldn't match the two, and so then I just brought it back to the meter thing, because that worked.
So this is completely random, and I have no idea why I thought of it just now, but
Wait, before you do that,
we're saying shit.
We're at Hypocritics Pod on Twitter. That's all I needed. So now you can.
So, completely random thing is I was standing in the store the other day, and there were these two guys talking, and I don't know what they were talking about, but one of them, very exasperated, says, "No shit, Sherlock." And the other one just looks at him with a stone cold glare, and he goes, "Fuck you, Watson." And I thought it was the best comeback I've heard in a really long time. He's like, how demeaning. He said it like Watson is disgusting or something. All right, carry on.
Good.
Sorry, just had to stop and relate that tale of awesome.
No, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, we're moving into our Dude Seriously section. Fuck it. Also, make sure to get to us on Stitcher as well and leave us a review there and on iTunes, because iTunes is the awesome, apparently. And, we've got 2 reviews on there thus far, although I should probably check just to be sure, because I haven't checked in a while. But
is it possible to remove one? Because we can look back and like, nope, we got one now.
Fucking hope not, because that shit would happen to me. So, in our Dude Seriously section, first up, so apparently 4 Pennsylvania men were arrested for smuggling cocaine inside an Xbox. Inside an original Xbox, so they weren't even going for like we're just taking our Xbox to our friend's house. No one plays the original Xbox anymore.
How did they find it?
The Xbox?
No, the coke. Like, where they're like, you're gonna have to take apart that console. You know?
Oh, I thought you meant how did the guys who were transporting it find the, okay.
No, wasn't going in that direction. Don't drop any names, sir. I don't need it.
No, it says here, officials informed the local, drug task force that cocaine from the Dominican Republic was being distributed in Berks County, Pennsylvania. And with the help of an undercover federal agent, police were able to locate the package described as video game Xbox 360 use and apprehend the 4 men involved.
Do you know why it had to be in a Microsoft product? It's because coke is not a gateway drug. See what I did there?
I got you. All right, nicely done. Yeah. How long were you working on that? Is that where you were silent?
Yeah, you could see the wheels turning probably.
Gotcha. So yeah, it was over $100,000 worth of cocaine.
Good God! Yeah. No wonder they found it. It was bulging out of like the fucking controller ports and everything. It's like, why is it snowing inside of your consoles? Or
nice. Yeah, that's pretty much why. So, any other thoughts on this one? I imagine you'll have thoughts on the next one though, because the next one is fucking disgusting.
Oh man.
No, you just want to get to the next one? We'll just get to the next one.
Okay.
All right. So, I'll just read the headline and we'll run with it from there. Teen wiped himself with cash in the bathroom. Use it to pay restaurant tab. So.
Nope.
Let me paint a picture for you.
Please choose better words, sir. All right, I have a lot of questions, but let's get the summary. Give me the up and down. Maybe it'll answer some of my questions. It's not going to answer all of them, obviously, because the fuck.
It doesn't answer any of my questions. So Police in Muncie, Indiana, I believe this is, have charged a teenager with battery by bodily waste after he used, they say, poo-tainted cash to pay his restaurant bill over the weekend. So the 17-year-old went into the bathroom to do a number 2 and used the money to wipe himself and then placed the bills in the folder provided for payment. And it wasn't until the server who collected the check actually touched the money that she realized it was covered in poo, in feces.
He paid her in dirty cash. That's what it was.
Did you have to do that?
Yeah, he should have laundered it.
Stop. I can't. Just, no. Alright, so what are your questions? You said you had questions.
Yeah, okay. So, what was the restaurant?
It doesn't say.
Was it like a fast? I guess not, if it came in like a bill folder.
Right.
Alright, so, was it solely because he was displeased with service?
No.
Was it because there was no toilet paper?
Neither of those. There was no reason given. And it's not that let me be clear. The article doesn't give no reason. The article states that the teenager gave no reason.
Because he's a fucking shitty person. Like, that's...
Were you going for that pun? A shitty person?
No, not especially. I was using it as a valid descriptor of that man's horrible personality.
That's valid.
Like, that's just gross. That just demeans us all as human beings, and he should be shot. Not like dead or anything, like maybe kneecapped.
Yeah.
Note that I'm saying he should be kneecapped because he's a terrible person.
No, I think that's a valid response to this. Call me crazy, but that makes sense to me.
And that's just fucked up and gross.
Yeah. That dude has some fucking problems. So, moving on from there. This is another in our chronicle of companies doing really fucked up shit for no reason with their products. Sears apologizes for selling swastika rings in their online marketplace.
You have a picture. Can I see this?
Yes.
I didn't look at the docket. So.
Yes, you can see this. As you can see, they're not even like, it's not...
Yeah, that's not subtle.
No, it's not.
That's just a swastika ring.
It's a silver ring with a swastika on it.
What's their spin on this?
I don't know if they have one. Let me find out.
Are they just like, I'm sorry, we didn't think you'd notice.
Right.
Like, what? And how many sold before?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't see that. I don't know how many sold.
Aren't the people behind Sears and Roebuck Jewish?
I believe so, actually.
Like,
they should have known. They should have known. And their apology was really kind of half-assed. We certainly understand the upset and regret this occurred. The vendor is being reviewed and the item removed. This item is a third-party Sears marketplace product that does not abide with our guidelines and is being removed.
And how the fuck did it get on your website, Sears?
That's what I want to know.
Can these people just put whatever the fuck they want on your website? What kind of licensing agreement do you have with this vendor? That's just bullshit. It's irresponsible. It's not professional. I mean, what sort of horse and pony show are you running here? Where's my soapbox?
So yeah, I think they are dumb for this.
That's not just dumb. You know what? If I had to buy that ring, I would wipe my ass with the money first.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I would do.
Okay, so now let's get into the pièce de résistance. This is the story that actually pretty much fucked me up this week. This is courtesy of theblaze.com. Man found an odd mark on his body. When it grew, he went to the doctor and got an unnerving diagnosis. So...
Body snatchers?
Might as fucking well be. An Australian man on vacation...
Oh, it's Australia. It's some sort of animal.
An Australian man on vacation received an unnerving diagnosis this week after going to the doctor following the discovery of a strange mark on his stomach. So, his name is, interestingly enough, Dylan Thomas. Woke up with a bizarre red mark on his stomach. When it grew a few inches, he went to the Bali International Medical Center. according to the doctors there, he says, I've come down with some mystery condition. Then his condition worsened. He said that's when it became painful. It was a searing burn. The doctors finally discovered what it was after a second investigation. I'll show you the picture of this because you said you hadn't seen anything on the docket yet. So, it started out... Hang on, let me...
As a Google page?
It started out as a Google page, yes. Started out, from what's been told, near his belly button.
What's with the scar?
That's not a scar, that's the mark.
Oh.
So it started out down
That's some sort of a bug or a worm. It's a bug. It's a bug, and knowing you, it's probably a spider thing.
That is exactly what happened. A spider burrowed its way into his skin.
And then Minecraft tunneled its way up?
That's exactly it.
All right.
Actually.
Leaving shitty dollar bills in its wake to show how much it did not give a fuck for Dylan Thomas.
No fucks given for Dylan Thomas. So yeah, it was a spider, a tropical spider that he picked up that had been living inside of him.
A tropical spider? What does that mean? It's wearing sunglasses?
And a little
Hawaiian shirt and some,
he's got like the coconut.
The nose sunblock going on.
Got the coconut with a little umbrella in the drink. Yeah.
You put the spider in the person and you shake it all about.
Not a fan of this.
Charlotte would be pissed. All of her, like, human-spider relations work that she's done, down the tubes.
Okay. I was going to go on a George Carlin-esque rant about the tubes, but I decided to skip it.
Oh, good.
So, that's all we've got for you right now. So, Caleb, I believe you have something. So,
oh, I do, and you're going to help me.
Okay. Well, take us away, sir.
Alright, so for the last few weeks, I've been kind of doing an interactive take-it-away section where I have random bits of trivia and different stats, and I've been feeding them out, asking people to kind of give me what they think that stat should read as, and been giving them the actual stat.
Yes.
I'm going to be doing more of the same tonight, but the environment for it has kind of changed since it's just one-on-one with me and Carl, so,
right.
What are we at time-wise?
43 minutes in.
43? Alright.
About that, yeah.
Alright. So I'll jump into it. I'm gonna give you some stats. There's no particular theme or order to these things. It's just stuff that I found interesting in my never-ending search for ridiculous shit to talk about. So, here we go. Carl, tell me, in your estimation, over the last 3,500 years of human existence, what percentage of the time has the world been at absolute peace?
Like 2 years of it.
No, it's actually more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
What percentage, though?
What percentage of that time?
So, I mean, even 1% is more than 2
yeah,
2
that's
years.
true. 0.5%.
8%.
Really?
8% of the last 3,500 years, likely because people didn't know how to throw rocks at each other 3,500 years ago.
Right.
Right? So, but that still shocked me. I was expecting 0.
Yeah.
Just -4%. There were wars planned before there were humans.
That's kind of what I was expecting.
Alright. How about this? What percentage of Americans dye their hair? Okay, let me give you some background to help you be more accurate. Back in 1950, that statistic read as 7%. 7% of Americans dyed their hair in 1950. How many do today?
92%.
No, 75.
Oh, really?
75% of Americans.
That was actually my first guess, and I was like, it can't be that low.
I've never dyed my hair.
Really?
Ever. My whole life.
I dye my hair like every other week.
Yeah, never done it.
I only dye it black, though, because I'm going gray, so...
Oh. I need to dye it. To lose weight, but nothing to do with my hair. I don't need to dye my hair at all. Let me ask you this, Carl. What percentage of murder victims knew their killer?
80%?
Nope. Also 75%.
Really?
3 out of 4 people who were murdered knew the person that did it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So, by that logic, when I get murdered, it'll probably be one of the guys that sits in this room normally. Fucking did it.
More than likely, yeah.
How are you with your neighbors? Do you get along with your neighbors? Do you even know your neighbors?
Not really.
What percentage of Americans don't know their neighbors?
What percentage of Americans don't know their neighbors? 50%. 75%. Fuck it.
72% don't know their neighbors. Yeah, which I don't know my fucking neighbors.
Yeah.
I don't trust anybody. I have children. I can't afford to trust anybody. I can't even trust my kids to play out in the front yard anymore because our world is disgusting.
That is all valid.
I mean, when I was a kid, I could, go do whatever the fuck I wanted to, and the rule was...
For 6 hours.
Yeah, be home when the streetlights come on. That was the rule. And a lot of times it was you're not allowed to be in the house. Go fucking play outside.
And even then, with the be home when the streetlights came on rule, you could still play out in front. You just had to be out in front of the house.
Yeah. And if someone slowed down and tried to talk to you, it was probably for a legit thing.
Yeah.
So you're a kid. Oh, hey, do you know how to get to somewhere? All right, well, thanks, bye. Shit happened. Played with strangers all the fucking time. Pickup games of fucking baseball.
Yep.
I mean, with people you don't know anything about in the age ranges of 4 years old to 13 years old. No one fucking cared.
Yep.
Now, the world is a fucking scary ass place.
That is definitely the truth.
I don't even play in my front yard alone. Alright, next question. This one kind of blew me away.
Okay.
In the last 20 years, how much money has been paid out in ransom in the United States?
Ooh, in the last 20 years?
Yep.
$50 million.
It's close. That's not even close.
Yeah.
That's not even a little bit close. $26 billion in ransom has been paid in the United States.
That's a gross number.
Yeah, well, most people don't call the police.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't.
Most people just pay.
If someone kidnapped my kid, I wouldn't fucking call the cops. Are you kidding?
This isn't a fucking
Nope.
Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I'm not calling the police.
Hell no, and I'm not going all Arnold Schwarzenegger and trying to do it myself either. I'm fucking mortgaging my house and getting my kid back.
Yep, pretty much.
Alright. Next. What percentage of men say that they wouldn't mind being stupid if they could have a perfect body?
What percentage of men say this?
Yeah.
75%.
No. 19% of men.
Oh, 19%?
Yep.
I was not giving men enough credit then.
What percentage of women say that they wouldn't mind being stupid if they could have a perfect body?
38%.
22%.
Mm.
I expected it to be the other... I expected men to make that jump more than women, actually.
I didn't.
I did.
I totally didn't expect that.
All right. Here's a question. What is the average age for the American's first romantic kiss?
I have a skewed view on this one. Mine was when I was really young. 8.
No.
No?
No. 13 years old.
13.
It was the average age.
My first was 5. I was 5 years old. I had my first romantic kiss. I've been fucked up ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, you have.
Yeah. No, it's just fact.
Let me ask you this one. This one blew me away too.
Okay.
Okay, because I didn't even know this was a thing, really. What percentage of human beings alive anywhere dream in color?
I don't know. 90%.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you dream in color?
Yeah.
Only 5% of people dream in color.
Really?
Yes. And you probably don't, actually. What happens is you have the dream, and it's actually in black and white. But when you remember the dream, your brain just fills in the color for you.
No, I definitely dream in color.
No, the only way to tell is to have those, fucking things suction cupped to your head so they can see what parts of your brain are active while you're actually dreaming. Because when you're actually dreaming, there isn't color. I
almost guarantee you that that's not the case for me.
Okay, well then you're a 5%er, Carl. Congratulations.
I'd have to look at more of the data on that, but
But you're going to now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that shit blew my mind.
But I specifically remember dreams, I had a dream that I was crossing the Golden Gate Bridge once, and in the dream I remember thinking, that's a more vibrant orange than I thought it was going to be while looking at the bridge.
Likely because that's probably what you thought was going to happen if you ever saw the Golden Gate Bridge.
But I still saw it in my dream.
You remember it that way.
Okay.
See, it's an argument that nobody can really win.
Yeah, apparently not.
All right, next. In the United States, how many minutes pass between each murder on average?
30 seconds.
23 minutes.
Really?
Actually, yeah, I was surprised too. I was like, none, no minutes,
Right,
no minutes. There's a murder now, murder now, murder now, murder now, murder now, 2 murders now. But no, 23 minutes per murder.
Interesting.
Let's see here. Oh, this one. This one's crazy to me. How many deaths per year occur as a result of preventable medical error?
How many deaths per year?
Yeah.
It's like 200,000.
98,000.
98,000?
98,000. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's probably more like 200,000. It's just ones that people get dead to rights. Okay.
Yep.
You absolutely dropped a pair of fucking scissors in that guy's heart. You know? All right. Next. How many deaths per year occur as a... Oh, I just read that one. All right. In 2014, our average life expectancy as Americans is 80.1 years. What was the life expectancy for Americans 100 years ago, 1914?
58 years.
47 years.
Oh, okay.
47 years was the average life expectancy for an American.
Jeez, it just about doubled. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Next question. We're all aware that doctors make mistakes. See the last question I asked before the last one.
Right.
Given that information, how many newborns are given to the wrong parents at the hospital each day in America?
4 a day.
It's 12. 12 a day.
What?
12 a day.
That's madness.
Yeah, it's 4,380 wrong parent mishaps a year. And they thought I was paranoid when I followed them around when they took my kid. They were like, you can't be in here. I was like, bullshit, that's my kid.
Yeah.
Nope, I can be anywhere my kid can be. And if I can't be here, either can my kid. Sorry.
Yeah. So, okay. Knowing that, shit, man, my wife and I are expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, follow them.
Yeah, I was going to say, those doctors can expect to have me following them.
Mm-hmm. Here's one I liked, okay? Who were the first television couple to be shown in bed together on primetime television?
That's...
Throw out some suggestions. What's coming to mind? Like Ricky and Lucy?
No, Homer and Marge Simpson.
Homer... Really? Really?
Yeah. No, wait.
It was the late 80s.
It was the late 80s?
That was the late 80s.
Oh, okay. I was
Homer
like, that's what I said. Gloria and Michael Stivic from All in the Family.
No, that was a good one though. No. It was Fred and Wilma Flintstone, actually.
What?
It was the first couple to be shown in bed together on primetime television. Yeah. Who is the number one tire manufacturer in the world?
In the world?
Yeah.
Number one tire manufacturer. Michelin.
Lego.
Lego.
Lego produces more tires every year than anywhere else.
Okay. You got me on that one. I didn't specify which kind of tire.
It's a true stat. I'm just saying, throwing it out there. This one made me throw up in my mouth a little.
Okay.
Just forewarning, it's the last one I got.
Okay.
If you stacked every view of the Gangnam Style video end on end, how much human life has been wasted watching the video?
Probably something like 24 years. Probably way more than that, actually. Probably like 110 years, now I'm thinking about it.
13,000 years.
What?
Shit you not. Actually, it's a little more than 13,000 years. I rounded down. But aren't you glad there are people like me who do this kind of fucking tireless research to bring you useless information?
Oh my god.
Alright, that was my take it away section. I feel I sufficiently took it away.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking good, actually.
Alright, that brings us to our top 5.
Top 5. That's right. The hypocritically acclaimed top 5 scientists. Fictional scientists.
Fictional scientists.
So, being as though it's just the two of us, I'll just read them from 5 to 1 and we'll give a little spiel about each.
Yeah, let's tear it up. Go for it.
Alright,
We'll throw down.
Number 5, Professor Utonium from the Powerpuff Girls.
That's right. Sugar and spice and everything nice, and an accidental dose of chemical X created the Powerpuff Girls.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I try my best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's legit. It says professor in front of his name. He's all sciencey and shit. He made the Powerpuff Girls.
You never see him without a lab coat on.
And the gloves. The weird, creepy gloves.
True story. True story.
You ever notice he looks exactly like Samurai Jack?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a theory behind that.
Yeah, there is. There is.
There's a conspiracy.
A cartoon theory.
One would say. Yeah. So, number 4. Doc Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't have a list about scientists without paying homage to Back to the Future.
Yeah. Dr. Emmett Brown. I mean, come on. The flux capacitor. I mean, that's all he did. That's all he did was dock.
Yeah.
He docked. He docked everything up. Like, everything got docked when Doc Brown was around.
Did you need to rhyme that too?
Didn't mean to.
Everything got docked when Doc Brown was around.
Yep.
So, yeah. Up to our number 3 choice. Dexter. Dexter's Lab.
Yeah.
Because how could you go wrong with... Also, never seen without the gloves and the lab coat.
You know who I liked more than Dexter, though? Mandark.
Really?
I liked Mandark. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, I liked Mandark. When I was in college, we had a professor, as our psych professor, looked just like fucking Mandark. And I used to make fun of him by going like this. Ha 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 ha! Every time he told a joke. Until he stopped me and he was like, I know what you're doing. And I was like, oh man, this guy's gonna gut me like a fish or something.
He Liam Neeson to you?
Yeah, basically. I don't know what you're referencing. I don't know where you live. But I have this set of test papers and I will fail you.
Nice. So, number 2 on our list, probably the one I'm most excited about, Mr. Spock from Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah.
He was the chief science officer on the Enterprise.
Yeah, he was the chief bull cut wearing pointy-eared motherfucker too.
So, here's a question. Did you watch the original series at all?
I watched some of it. Some of it was so ridiculous I had to watch it. Like when William Shatner and Abraham Lincoln took on a bunch of aliens. I mean, come on. Who doesn't watch that shit?
So, in your opinion, who's the better Spock? Leonard Nimoy or Zachary Quinto?
Why not both? Why not both?
Do I want a soft shell tackle or a hard shell tackle?
I mean, are you asking me if the Leonard Nimoy in the new Star Trek movie was a better Spock than Zachary Quinto? Or are you asking me if the old Spock was a better Spock than the new Spock is in the new Spock?
Stop saying Spock.
Don't tell me what to do. You're not my real mom.
So, yeah, old Mr. Spock versus...
Leonard Nimoy is absolutely iconic, and he made Spock. Okay? If anything, Zachary Quinto is an emulation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not being Leonard Nimoy. Okay?
Right.
But he's an emulation of a character that is basically Leonard Nimoy. Have you seen Leonard Nimoy act in other places?
Yeah.
He's just Spock with a different haircut.
He's Spocking.
Yeah, he's Spocking while Doc's docking. It's gonna be fucking
Doc and Spock?
He's fucking Spocking and docking everything up.
All right. Well then, our number 1 on our hypocritically acclaimed top 5 fictional scientists, Dr. Frankenstein.
Well, yeah.
Of course.
It's alive! It's alive! You have to love Frankenstein.
There's no way he couldn't be on this list. Like,
No.
I mean, every vision that we have of a mad scientist is because of Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like, the fucking...
Countless parodies of people pulling levers and a platform being raised through a hole in the ceiling and lightning striking, and then
right,
it's
and like
alive.
the Tesla coil coming up and powering up.
And that's actually called a Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder, yes.
Yeah, so, but, I mean, fucking A. I mean, boiling beakers own their renown to Victor Frankenstein. Like, that's just how it is.
That is just how it is. There's no getting around that. So, yeah, that is our top 5 for this evening. So, if you have any questions, comments, want to leave suggestions of your own top 5s, we'll go ahead and do that. Let us know. Like I said, we're on Twitter, on Facebook. You can drop us a line on email, and that's hypocriticspodcast@gmail.com, or the Hypocritics, or I'm sorry, Stop! I was looking at you out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, he's gonna ruin it. He's gonna ruin it. Or at contact@thehypocritics.com. And, yeah, from there, thank you for listening. And we had a great time. Caleb.
Yeah, everybody remember to rock out with your Doc and your Spock out. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
When I sleep too